I will endure it all and keep my spirit strong. There is a time for many words, and there is a time for sleep. Men hold me formidable for going in peace and war. These quotes are told by one of the greatest Greek mythologist kings, Odysseus. Odysseus is one of the most celebrated heroes of ancient Greek mythology, renowned for his intelligence, cunningness, and resilience. Like many traditional heroes who rely on physical strength, brute force, like Achilles, he is not the one. Odysseus is different because he wins it with his mind, survives it from his will, and fights for something that is deeper than the glory. In Greek mythology, Odysseus wasn't the strongest warrior. He wasn't the fastest. Yet he outlasted kings, monsters, storms, and wars. His victories came from intelligence, patience, and the ability to adapt when everyone else failed. And to the think of that, football has its own Odysseus. Have you ever noticed that football isn't always won by the strongest player? Sometimes it won by the smartest one. When people talk about legends, they usually remember the fastest dribblers, the biggest goals, or the most spectacular moments. But every once in a while, a player comes along who controls the game without needing to be fastest person on the pitch. And that's where Luka Modric reminds me of one of the greatest fictional heroes, Odysseus. Luka Modric came from the country that is torn apart in a war. As war swept across Croatia, a young boy was forced to leave the home he loved. His childhood wasn't shaped by academies or perfect training grounds. It was shaped by uncertainty. Like Odysseus, the journey began with circumstances that is beyond his control. Years later, when Modric entered professional football, another challenge appeared. People didn't question his passion, they questioned his body. That is too small, too light, too weak. Odysseus was also not never remembered as the strongest warrior either. His greatest weapon was always his mind. Modric answered doubt the same way. Not with his words, but with his football. A move to Dinamo Zagreb gave him the platform to grow. But even that journey wasn't straightforward. Too many loan spells, difficult matches, and constant pressure became the part of his education. Every challenge taught him something, just as every island in Odysseus' poem forced him to adapt. Then came England. The big leagues, the Premier Leagues. Tottenham Hotspur came calling. Many believe the league was too physical for him. Once again, he was underestimated. Once again, he adapted. Instead of changing who he was, he made everyone else change how they viewed him. In 2008, the manager, the Redknapp, gave him the chance he wants and play in the central midfield position. And then the sky is the limit. He possesses them in the Champions League and in the top 4 of the Premier League. And then it became a stepping stone for him. And after that, then came the biggest step of all, Real Madrid in 2012. At first, the criticism only grew louder and louder. Some even called him one of the worst signings of the season. For many players, that would have been the end. But in 2013, for Modric, it was only another obstacle. Same as Odysseus. Odysseus never reached home without setbacks. Modric never reached greatness without criticism. Season after season, he transformed himself into the heartbeat of one of the football's greatest teams. He gave us the moments like the La Decima corner kick we all know, to the Trivela pass to Rodrigo. We got to see it all. Then after then, Champions League followed, league titles followed. He earned his respect as he kept But in between, in 2018, World Cup came the biggest prize he wants to collect. A small nation stood one match away from the football's biggest prize. This Croatian team, with his captain Luka Modric, carried throughout the extra time after extra time, refusing to surrender. Although the World Cup slipped away, but Modric left the tournament as its greatest player. He broke the decade-long dominance of Messi and Ronaldo by winning the freaking Ballon d'Or. Yeah, you heard me right. Not because he scored the most goals, but because he controls the biggest moments. Even today, as younger generations take over, Modric continues to compete at the highest level. His mind, and perhaps that's why his story still feels timeless. Not because he lived the life of Odyssey, but because, like Odyssey, every obstacle becomes another chapter in an unforgettable journey for him. And that's why he is one of the greatest of all time. The greatest heroes aren't the ones the loudest. Sometimes they are the ones who quietly rewrite the story. Odysseus needed 10 years to find his way home, but same. Modric needed decades to prove that the intelligence could conquer the football stages.